Good morning, Mo'av Rabotai. B'ezras Hashem, Mincha is going to be 6:50. Please be on time. Two halachot we're going to get today. First is, why did we say Tahanun? So it's important to note that the 14th and the 15th of Adar, which is Purim and Shushan Purim, are days of Yemei Mishteh V'Simcha, which is what the Megillah says. Those days are inherently days of celebration. So even though we don't celebrate the 15th per se because we're not in a walled city, but on the 15th you skip Tahanun. The 15th was Shabbat. Now in Eretz Yisrael, it's called Purim Mishulash. It's interesting, they actually celebrate on Sunday. They don't read the Megillah, but they have the Mishteh. They have the celebration and the Mishloach Manot. But that's really a makeup, because it's learned out that you don't have the Mishteh on Shabbat. You do it and you push it off Tashlumin on Sunday. So since the celebration is done on Sunday as a makeup, it's true in Yerushalayim they don't say Tahanun on today, on Sunday, because they're doing the Mishteh, but because it's only a makeup and due to the fact that they're doing the mitzvah, any other place that's not celebrating the 16th of Adar, which would be outside of Yerushalayim and outside of all the walled cities, they don't have any reason to celebrate, and therefore it is a regular day that you say Tahanun. So that's in terms of the Tahanun of the day, why we said Tahanun. Both Shacharit and B'ezras Hashem Mincha will be saying Tahanun. It comes to halachot of Amira Legoy, and we were discussing the halachot of a field versus a bathhouse, and we said that although technically speaking an arrangement could be done on a technical level to permit it that the goy is not viewed as a shaliach. For example, he has a percentage in the profits, or he rents out the place for the entire year for a set amount. These are ways that shelichut is nullified. However, we did say that a mirchatz has an issue of mar'it ayin, of an appearance that he's a hired worker, as opposed to in the field where it's normally done through percentage in the profits. You don't have a question of mar'it ayin. But those facts were true in the Gemara's times. If any city has variables that changes the halacha. For example, in both directions. Let's say there is a city or a country that the mirchatz situation is that you don't usually hire employees. Rather, you sort of rent it out on a yearly basis, or you provide the option that the majority of the people do is that they hire people that actually have a share in the profits. So that way, that becomes the majority that is permissible. So therefore, there's no question of mar'it ayin anymore. As long as the majority of the city does it in that fashion, then the mar'it ayin question dissipates, and it would be permitted to rent out the bathhouse or to do it in a structure that would not have the issue of shlichut. Again, of course, the higher employees would still be asur because that's messenger, that he's your messenger. But if he's a stake in the profits, that would not be a violation. And conversely, in the case of the field where the Gemara says it's mutar lechatchila to have sharecroppers, in today's times where it's unusual to use a system of sharecroppers, most of the times if you have agricultural fields, what do? You hire employees. So even if you set it up in a way that it was arisut, where the Gemara says it's allowed, in our times where it's normal to hire employees, it would not be allowed because of mar'it ayin. So these rules could change based on the structure of society, but the guidelines don't change, and they're the same guidelines, and that remains consistent. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.